We've seen a ton of changes in the 1.13 Aquatic update. We've got new underwater items, we've got new underwater landscapes. We have the addition of bubble columns and underwater ravines. We see shipwrecks and coral reefs, even though this one is very mediocre at best. In terms of new mobs, we're seeing things such as tropical fish. We've got phantoms. For me personally, my favorite would be these guys right here, the drowned. More specifically, the trident drowned. Now, I've seen various tutorials across YouTube for trident farms. This is one thing that I guess is still open to concepts, and people are trying to conceptualize the best designs. I've seen a lot of designs like this, where there will be a villager in the middle, and then the bubble columns will push them up. I've also seen other ones. Well, this is actually one of my failed ones. As you can tell, I blew it up. This is another failed one, but a couple of good examples of this are on the Hermitcraft server. They have farms where there's just a villager sitting in the middle, and it pushes the drowned up to a collection zone up top. Obviously, you got to use your imagination here because I didn't prep for this. In the end, you have this, I guess you can make it look nice, but you have the structure that sticks up and out of the water. Now, for the deep end SMP, for those of you who don't know what that is our SMP. There are a ton of YouTubers on there that you might know and you might want to check out. So if you are new around here, I would urge you to go and check that out. And if you enjoy that, maybe consider subscribing. But today, the main focus is going to be this. Now, this is my concept of a drowned Trident Farm. Now, it's pretty much based off of the Hermitcraft designs. It has the basic villager in the middle. Now, it even uses the same cobble wall water intake system. Very, very simple up top. But I was never a fan of the whole sticking up and out of the water thing. So I wanted to see if I could make the magma blocks play an effect on this, as opposed to using the soul sand. It just makes things a little bit more compact on the surface. Now, underneath the surface, I can't say the same thing. It's not overly compact, but let's go down and take a look at that. So this is what it looks like down bottom. It is fully functional. It does work perfectly. There were a couple bumps in the road, which I'm going to go over as the tutorial goes on. But here's just a basic look at it, and then we will jump straight into it. Now, this was actually the result of multiple different concepts. There are definitely ways that this could be compacted. My redstone is not that advanced. It's very, very basic. So I worked with what I knew how to do. If anyone wants to take this design and work on it and compact it, I would love to see what you guys come up with, because obviously there are some geniuses out there. And once again, for the up top bit, I have to credit Hermitcraft and the guys over there. They do great jobs. And I'm sure, honestly, if it gets in their hands, this design, they will do something great with this. So looking at it from the inside here is the collection zone, basic hopper system down below. And then the mobs will be dropped down and pushed into the collection zone through this observer piston system. Now, I had a couple issues when creating this on how to make the pistons work. Because if I show you right here, let's use this one for example. If you take redstone and you activate all three of these pistons at the same time to extend and retract, I can show you guys that the bubbles will not return despite there being source blocks on the side. The redstone signal has to go in a staggered current, hence this system here of the comparator and repeater entering this block. And then when the item passes through here, it will activate this one, and then finally this one. So it's on a stagger system. It gives the chance for the source block to come back. And just for an example, we'll break this torch and I will show you guys that this side does in fact keep its bubbles. That is the most important part about this farm, is keeping that staggered flow and making sure that the source does not break. So getting into the building of this thing, you are going to want to carve yourself out a room that is 21 by 21. This is just for ease of access, really, making the space nice and light and easy to work in. So you want it to be 21 by 21 and then 7 tall. Obviously, I had to put a sign on the wall in case I forgot, because I don't do tutorials. I'm not very good at these things. So bear with me, guys. I apologize if it's not the best tutorial you've ever seen. We will get there in the end. Now, we're going to hop over to another world. I'm going to go over the resources that you're going to need. And we're going to just mimic this little portion right here. And then I'm sure I can show you guys how to build it into your world. Just a look from the top once more. This is your AFK zone up here. You just hop in here and the drowned will come to you. Let me just show you guys that it does in fact work. We'll just spawn a couple drowned. Here they go. We even have one with a trident, one with a nautilus shell. That's very, very nice. So they get sucked down, and guess who didn't turn the redstone on? I've set it up so that there's a redstone system that can actually pause the hoppers so that there isn't constant redstone going. So you just flip that lever and the pistons will begin. And there is a nice pause in between so that the bubble columns can resume. So let's just place these guys down. There we go. The drowned will in fact go down. You'll see that they eventually get pushed in. The nice part about this is that they will take damage as well, but they will very rarely die. I'm pretty sure I've not seen a single one die yet. On this timer at least. And they get decently low rather than having to waste your durability on hitting a full health drowned. Not that there's a big difference, but you know, someone could probably do the math and work out how to make it even more efficient than I currently have it. If I'm being honest, I haven't seen any designs. Correct me if I'm wrong, there might possibly be some out there, but I haven't seen any designs that utilize the magma blocks. I think this might be the first one. Like I say, I'm not going to claim that, but if it is, then I feel like I'm definitely onto something here, which is awesome, and I'm excited to see the compact versions of this that I'm sure will eventually spread into the YouTube space. Okay, so for the redstone build, you are going to need all of these items. So it's going to be 21 hoppers, 3 observers, 3 pistons, 3 comparators, 2 repeaters, 3 redstone torches, 4 dust, and then any building block of your choice. You can get as much as that as you want. You're going to want 3 magma blocks. The water, you don't really need 5 water buckets. You could use 1. You can make an infinite water source down here. This is basically just to show that you're going to need water, and then depth strider boots. You're working underwater. It's not necessary, but if you want to move fast, you can do. I put the scoot in here because you're going to want to put an item in each one of the hopper clock systems. If I take one of those out, actually, you want to multiply this chest by 4. This is only going to build you one side of your design. So if you guys want to prep for all 4 sides of this thing, you are going to need 84 hoppers, 12 observers, 12 pistons, 12 comparators, 8 repeaters, 12 redstone torches, and 16 redstone dust. You're also going to need 12 magma blocks. Then again, the water and the building blocks of your choice, it does not really matter. And then you're going to want the 4 scoot. Like I say, 1 for each clock. Now I haven't incorporated the materials needed to build this clock below. It's a very basic system. I will show you how to make that at the end of the video. You don't need it, but I will show it to those of you who want to know how to add that to your build. So we're going to play make-believe today. We're going to pretend like this side is duplicated on every other side, because at the end of the day, you only need one side of this thing built before you can understand how to build all 4 other sides. Now, when going down, I didn't mention that there was a set limit, because there's not. You can make this thing go as deep as you want. If you want it to go to bedrock, make it go to bedrock. So we're just going to come down, probably this is probably like 15, 20 blocks, just to show you guys that it doesn't matter how deep this thing goes. So then we're going to break this out and we're going to place our blocks. I really feel like I should have prepped a room back here first. So right down here, I have my room carved out. Like I said, you can go as deep as you like. That's going to be our collection zone down there, but you don't need to build that yet. I just like to clear the space out so that I can actually reference what I'm going to be building and where. Let's actually bring this down one more so it's only 2 high. So we've got our 3 magma blocks placed right below where the drowned are going to drop down. They're going to come straight down to this block. Then you're going to want to take your hoppers, your observers, and your pistons. Okay, so the first things you're going to want to place are your observers. You're going to want to place them on the top of a block so that the arrows are facing down and the face is on the top. You're then going to want to put your hoppers on top like so, and then your pistons on the bottom. That's just so you don't get knocked about when placing those. Let's break away around the side. We don't need these blocks in place yet, just so we can walk around the thing and have a look at it nicely. You're then going to want to build off of your top row of hoppers and build a line of 3 blocks of any kind like this. Then you're going to want to come over here, grab your redstone torches and go 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to want to take your blocks again and just make this have enough room for your redstone. That's why I like to keep the room 7 blocks high from floor to ceiling, because it just gives you a lot of room to work with. I'm just going to build this quick template floor. You don't need to put the floor, you can just put your hoppers, but I just like it as a quick template. Then we're going to take the rest of our redstone and we are going to place that down. We've got our middle comparator that's going to be going into this block. We're going to place 1 hopper right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, feeding straight into it. We're going to then destroy this one, and we're going to come from there 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be our final hopper, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to place another one right here. And then you're going to want this one to feed into here. Same on this side. You want this one to be feeding into this one, like so. And you're going to want to come all the way back. So in total, you have 18 hoppers. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times by 2. There's your 18 hoppers. Now, you want to come to your end one right here, place another comparator, and then here another comparator. Quickly place your redstone just like so. Right here, you can place 1 repeater and 1 repeater. No need for any ticks on the repeaters, just like so. And then you can take your random item of choice, just toss it in, and it's going to activate your clock. It's going to set it off on a nice staggered pattern like we showed. It's going to give a nice break, and then it repeats again. That just ensures that we don't break the water flow and we don't break the bubbles, and that's going to collect your drown nicely. So if you want to put a stop to that, you can just place a torch under here for now. We can set this to hook up to a lever, but just for now, you can place that there. Repeat this on all 4 sides, breaking out the room. Like I said, 21 by 7. That was about the size of the room that I liked working with. Made it nice and open and easy to work in. Now we want to sort out our water. Cobblestone walls. I forgot to include these in the chest. They are semi-necessary. I did just like to put them here to stop any baby mobs crawling into this area. We're also going to want signs. Shout out to me for being a great tutorialist. And you're going to place your signs along this wall right here. So this is your collection zone down here, and this is where your whole setup is going to be. So this is your collection zone down here, and then this is where your mobs are going to drop down. Right now, I'm just going to fill this bottom bit with sources. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now these bubbles are active. So if we go up top now, and we unleash the water to flow down here, you're going to see that it doesn't actually source up. Only the bottom line is done. So what I like to do here, very simple trick, is just take a block that you can place kelp on, let's say sand, for example, place it right here, and then just bring the kelp all the way up to the top. And then what this is going to do, that's going to make every single block of water in here a source. Then you can come down here, break down the sand as well, and then you can just quickly with the water buckets fix your bottom layers of water, and that is going to make the entire thing into bubbles. As you can see, we can fly up this. Obviously you can't swim up it, so try not to get yourself trapped down there. Let yourself have a way out. But yeah, you repeat this on all 4 sides. For this section right here, you're just going to want to come inside, and you can either fill it up with blocks and delete them just so that you get rid of all of the water, or you can do it as I'm about to do right here. Grab yourself a sponge, just clear the entire thing. Then on every single side, you're going to want to place a cobblestone wall like so. So then you have water flowing in from every single side, and you're going to want to get yourself a villager down into the middle. Now that's the hard part. Doing that in survival, getting yourself a villager into this. It's not overly hard, but obviously it's a bit tricky to get it under the water. You can just build yourself a simple tube system to drop it down from the surface into this thing. Now for the AFK zone, what I did, I'm just going to use any slab for an example right here. What I did is I placed a slab down there like so, and I built up 1, 2 on either side, and then I just placed a trapdoor above me. What I then like to do, in case you don't have a conduit about, is just remove the water, and then you have a nice place to stand, and you can also just jump straight out of the top as well without having to worry about climbing out. Just a nice little place to AFK so that the drowned do actually spawn in. Whereas if you put this in spawn chunks, they're always going to be coming to this thing. So yeah, repeat this system on all 4 sides. We're going to go down to the bottom. In my little chest of items, I did not account for the amount of hoppers that are going to be needed down here. It depends on how big you're going to make your collection zone. You can make this farm just have one side if you want to, if you can't afford to do it on all sides. But yeah, just build your collection zone accordingly. Oh, that's always nice. Couple diamonds. So you're going to place your hoppers in the ground however you want to. Make sure that they all filter into one specific chest. So we're just going to filter these all this way. And then if we just come down here, we can have this one be our collection chest. Very simple. If we drop something in right there, it's going to find its way to here. Nicely done. You can place your half slabs on top of this if you want to. Let's just take some dark prismarine slabs. A slab off the top of that. You can always drop an item onto that, and it's going to filter down into the chest as well. Obviously, if I could find my way down, that would be nice. Cool, there you go. You got your dark prismarine slab. This is your collection zone. And then if I move over to the other build, just to show you guys what exactly to mimic. I also put the stairs here like this. Not necessary, but it does actually help. I found it helps the drowned not get stuck on their way down. Basically, just mimic this whole build. And eventually you will have a nice working semi-automatic Trident farm. Now for this little section right here, the on-off switch, I've just linked it up down here. This is my collection zone. Obviously, it's a rough draft example. It's not the prettiest build, but you just put your lever, you activate your redstone. I've chosen this corner to stop the item in. Whichever hopper is powered, it's going to stop it. So you want to put a torch underneath it, and then you're going to want to run a line of redstone, having a repeater on either side. You're going to want to run a line of redstone, repeater, block, repeater, line of redstone, repeater, block, repeater. The repeater is going to allow this to travel 16, I believe it is, to the next repeater, and it's actually a perfect 16. So just copy this, and then your whole system can be activated and deactivated with the flip of a switch. Every single side is in fact working. So that is my rendition of a Trident farm. If you are going to use it, let me know down in the comment section below. We are going to be building this on the deep end. This is a project that I'm excited to try out. I'm not sure of the efficiency on this compared to the other farms. I'm sure it's thereabouts the same, just depending on the spawn rate and where you build it, really. Like I say, it's not the cheapest build. The other ones are very cheap in terms of using less hoppers, but I personally do not like the above ground design. I like my collection zones to be underground, nice and hidden, and just very minimalist on the surface. You can make this even smaller if you want to. There's definitely different ways to make this smaller. But yeah, that's my concept for a Trident farm. Hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful. Apologies if it wasn't the best. I'm not really a tutorialist, as I say. But if you guys would like more builds like this, let me know, and I will get those done in the future. Be sure to subscribe if you are new around here. Check out the Deep End if you are new and haven't checked that out already. Very fun server with a ton of awesome YouTubers on there. We do cool projects, and yeah, it's just a fun SMP. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy. If you do make a concept of this that is more compact and uses my same downflow design, please let me know, because I'm very excited to see that. Obviously my lack of redstone knowledge is not the best, as I said, so I'm excited to see what some good redstoners do with this. That's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.